Okay, so let me give you a rundown of how this all works. Well, this particular one anyway, because this is what's going to be explained in my program. It's the LinkedIn connector. Now, this one is mine, which is extended. So it does check replies. It does also handle follow-ups, but it would have just all been too big to put in one program. And it's really aimed at people who are not that technical. But what I have done in the program is explained how you can progress it. And then, of course, after the program, if you're interested, there is a monthly membership where all other codes will be revealed to you. I give new code drops on a regular basis. So all we need to do for this to work is to type in the Python code name. And I've named this one AI Browser Agent. It's the main one. And as you can see over here on the right, this is where the code all is for the entire script. And all we need to do now is press enter. And a browser will pop up. And the agent will start doing its thing. So what it's doing is scrolling through my saved search. Now I have been using this search for maybe 8 weeks now. So I do believe it's going to go all the way to page 30 maybe before it finds somebody. And while it's doing that, I just want to break down how this is working. So if I move this screen up slightly, then you can see what's going on in the background. And it's scrolling down the page until it finds a connectable profile. Now I have told it to skip all the follows. That's something that could be included in the agent if I wanted it, but it's not. So yeah, I've told it to skip past anybody who also asks me to add my email address to prove that I know them before sending that connection request, because that does happen occasionally. So what page are we at now? We're at page 11. And just to explain, you can have this automated. You can have this running without having to open up this editor. This editor is called VS Code, the black screen in the background. Now, I quite like the editor, and I do think that once you've been guided through how to use it, you might fall in love with it like I have. But yes, there is very much a way that you can have this all running without having to open that up. So you could have a shortcut on your desktop or even in your menu, and that would run it. That would run the script, start the agent, so to speak. Okay, so you can see here that it has found a profile that it can connect to, and what it will do from here is go and open a connection box. It's going to type in the message that I've told it to generate or type in, and then it's going to carry on and move on to the next one. And you can see down at the bottom here, it's giving us a little summary. So now it's just carrying on, looking for more people. And while it does that, I'll explain to you what happens after that. Oh, but 1 minute, here we go. It is connecting with another person. So I've asked it to connect with 10 profiles. And providing that it doesn't find one that requires me to put my email address in to connect with them, which again, we can code that in. We can actually get the agents to do anything we need it to do, but it's not something that I'm bothered about. So I've asked it to skip through that. So if it does find one of those, what it will do is connect with just 9 people and skip 1. Otherwise, it will just give me the full 10. And you can adjust those numbers. Now, like I said, I've been using this for about 8 weeks, and I've only found one person with that on their profile, and here he comes now. So what I'm going to do after this is pop him in my block list so it just misses him. And you can see down here that it skipped that person. So I think that's 3 so far, including that one. So it's got another 7 to go. And yeah, with regards to what happens next, once it's done the 10, once it's completed a full run, and you can change that number like I said, it will save all of that information in an Excel sheet, because that's what I've told it to do. Now in my program, I show you how easy it is to change that if you want it maybe saved in a Google sheet or a spreadsheet that's saved locally on your machine. If you have a company OneDrive, it is a little bit more complicated. It's the most detailed one, but it's 100% possible, and I've guided on full instructions with screenshots on how to do that as well. So it's moving through pretty quickly actually. And once all of that has been captured, once it's done its full run, it's going to save the date and the time of the message connection, like when it was sent. It's going to save their first name, it's going to save their last name, and it will save their URL profile link, and that's the direct link to their page. And it will also save the actual message that we've sent. And in all honesty, that's all we need at this stage. You don't want to go overloading it or scraping information that you're not going to be using at the moment. Because the theory behind this is I will only investigate further or get my agents to do more if those people have accepted my connection request. So we'll just let it carry on and let it do its thing. Nice. Now I am doing this on a Saturday. Now I don't normally do this on a Saturday. I normally stick to just Monday to Friday, and I normally just do 10 a day. So depending on your LinkedIn account, if you do have a premium account, one that you pay for, you can do a lot more. You want to double check those limits of yours. But a free account, you're limited to about 100 connection requests a week. So with what I do, I generally send out 50 connection requests a week. Now, what happens if you go over that? I was using a piece of software back in the days. I used 2 actually. One was called Octopus, and I can't remember the name of the other one, but it was a lot more expensive. And I would set the amount of connection requests it needed a day, but I don't know if it ever went over those limits, but I would maybe once a month get a shadow ban from LinkedIn. So that's what will happen if you go over these limits. And what that means is LinkedIn is going to restrict your account for 48 hours. It won't close it, it won't shut it down, it will just not let you log in. And why you don't want that happening is if anybody has responded to you or they've asked you a question, then generally you want to be following up with them pretty promptly. Now, I definitely am not your typical salesperson. I'm not going to jump on you immediately. But yes, I do want to be getting back to you pretty quickly, definitely within the day. With a 48 hours ban, that's 2 days. It might take 3 days before I get back to you because I'm left them hanging and it's not ideal. So you definitely want to stick within your limits and you want to find out what your account allows. What are we doing here? So the other thing is that you can have this going on in the background while you're working. Now, the one thing I would suggest, even though I do it, I do have my LinkedIn page open sometimes while this is running. I would suggest you do not do that, just in case there's some confusion between or with LinkedIn reading 2 profiles that are actively working at the same time. Now, it's never caused me a problem, but I would advise you not to do that. However, if you're working on a Word document, maybe you could be editing a website, you might be researching or browsing through Google Chrome or even Microsoft, anything else, you can just continually carry on doing what you're doing, and this will just run in the background until it's finished. Okay, so that's done now. So let's just move this over so you can see what's going on. It's saved it into the Excel file, and I'll just press enter to close that browser. And then what I'm going to do is open up my Excel file so you can see what's happening. Okay, so it's all going into here. So let's see, today is the 10th. So it's all of these. And there should be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here you go. There's the messages that the agent has sent. Now, if we just go back to VS Code, this beautiful piece of software, it's a free piece as well. What it's doing is using this file at the very top. I've asked it to save locally. So it's saving to my OneDrive folder that's on my laptop, which means that we can bypass all the extra bits we need to for a company OneDrive. But we do still get the real-time updates, because obviously that folder is synced when there's any changes made. Now, if you have ever see a number on this icon file, it means that something needs saving, and I'm not sure what I need to save at the moment, but yes, all the information that the agent needs is here. So it is really quite simple, and in my program, this is all that you're going to need to change. The other thing that you'd need to change is your LinkedIn URL search, and update your block list if there are any people that you don't want it to connect with. What I'm going to do is show you how you can take things a lot further. So I'm going to give you an example. These are people that I've already checked. I've checked if they've replied to me, so I've got a Y in them. Let's just show you from around 63 downwards. Now the agent then would use this script. This script's called checks accepted. And at the moment I'm asking it to check 30 rows. So I'm just going to change this to 5 so that I can demonstrate it to you and you can see it in action. We need to save any changes. So let me just, I'm not sure which file. I'll just save everything. Okay, so I'll just change that to 5. Now what will happen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to check these people. It's going to scan their profiles, and it's going to see whether or not these profiles say pending. So the logic is, if there is no pending button, it assumes that it's been accepted, and it will throw a date and time in here, and it will give me a Y. Now this is not included in my program. This is me taking it further because this is how I want to work. And the thing is that everybody is slightly different, and you may have a completely different way that you want to approach your outreach. So let's run it. Now, the thing to note is that we do have to have the Excel sheet closed for it to be able to write to it. If it was a company OneDrive, or even if I opened up the browser and had my document open there, we can bypass all of that and we can literally see it go and write the stuff in there. But let's have a look at checks accepted. So we need the Python code, checks accepted, PY. And I'm just going to check what we have open, just that, brilliant. Okay, so it's running. Okay. Okay, so what it will do is open up the Chrome browser, and the agent will skip past everybody in that Excel sheet that's already been checked, so anybody who's got a Y in their row, and it will go to the URL that's listed in the Excel sheet, and it will see if there is a pending button on the screen. And okay, so this person's accepted. Nice. And it gives us all this information in the VS Code terminal down here. So it is going to carry on. So this person's accepted as well. Now I will tell you that I am getting much better than accepted. Sorry, I will tell you that I am getting much better than expected acceptance rates. So, I mean, when I was using the paid tools back in the days, 20 to 30% accepts was pretty cool. But now I am getting 30 to 50% of people accepting, which is really good. And it looks like out of these 5, let's see what she did. Yeah, it looks like out of these 5, everyone's accepted. So that is very nice. So if it shows me all of this, if we look back at our tracker, these, let's see. So these are today's. Brilliant. So what's that Y again? Okay, yeah. So I've created a column for the agent to know who's been checked, and another agent to see who's been accepted. So there's no Y here because they've been checked and these ones didn't accept. So what I need to do is go back and recheck them, and the way I'd do that is by deleting the data in these columns. So if I deleted the top 5, the agent would then check these first. Okay, so they've accepted. That's brilliant. Those are really good stats. Let's see when it was sent. When was the original request sent out? So about a month ago. Now, you don't want to leave your leads or your connections or your outreach that long. But honestly, I do believe people are a little tired of being pestered on LinkedIn. Well, I definitely am anyways. So there's no harm in giving it a bit of breathing space before you follow up with people. Because honestly, there is nothing worse than being hounded. Now, I will say this, I've not put out much content at all, and I do fully expect those figures to increase once I start. But as you can see, I'm really busy in the background and I've just fallen in love with these agents. Now, so that's that. I have another sheet here. Now, these are the 3 sheets that I'm using with this particular agent. This one's for something else. That's another agent working on there. So the next thing that I've added on my agent, which you guys might want to add on yours, is I want to transfer all of those that have accepted over into here. Okay, so let's have a look. They should then drop into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be 64 of them after John Magnus. So let's close this. So accepted transfer. So it's this one here. So if I click that, you can see the code in for this script. It's a short code really. So I'm going to type in Python accepted transfer.py and press enter. And that's completed the task immediately. So let's just check it. So there's Magnus, and there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they should all be deleted from here, and they are. We've got no more there. Okay, I should go back and check all of these people. I'll do that later on in the week. Okay, right now, what do we do with these people? What do we do next? So it transfers over, it brings over the date and the time of that I originally sent the message, their first and last name, their URL profile, and the message that I sent. And now what I want to do is check if any of those people have replied to me. Now, I don't want to make this too complicated, so I will stop myself. I don't want to take you down the rabbit holes that I've been down, but I did just want to give you a good idea of how you can take things, how you can work with it. Now, what I anticipate is you jump on my program and you'll just be enlightened as to what can be done. And I will give you a quick glimpse of the program. But what I've done from here is my next script, or the next thing that my agent will run, is it goes and checks who's replied and who's actually sent a message back to me. So we can see here we've got 1, 2. I need to look into that one and see why it didn't check that. 3, 4 replies, and that again is pretty good for somebody who's not putting out any content. Now the next thing that it will do, which I believe is fantastic, is it's going to generate the first message. It's got some great logic involved in this. I've worked really, really hard on this part. So for example, this lady, the agent went and pulled all of our messages since the first initial connection message I sent. If there are messages there, it's going to base the message it generates off of that. Okay, so loved hearing about your blah, blah, blah. So it's very contextual. It's very relative. It relates to what we've said. It does not fall into any realms of being generic or annoying or robotic, like I'd say maybe 80% of what we're getting on LinkedIn. Now, if they haven't replied to me or there hasn't been any messages going on, then it's going to go and look at what they've been posting. And if that post falls within 4 weeks, it will generate a message based on that. So it will scrape their post. It will also scrape their about section, and then it will figure out how it should reply. Well, it won't figure out. It's not learning itself. I told it to do this. So you need to be very logical in the background when you're working with these agents or you're designing them. So for example, this was a post that Hazan wrote, and it was about Eid. So the message I sent out, or it generated, was thank you. I haven't sent it yet. Thank you for accepting my connection request. I've been on an interesting journey, blah, 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 blah. This is a new system that does this for me. And I like that. What I didn't want was what I get from most people saying stuff like, oh, your profile's so impressive. I find it quite disingenuous. Now, I do a little bit further down in the message. I use his name and I do reference his post. So I noticed your recent post, blah, 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 and celebration of your family. It really shows the importance of having these things. And then I go straight back into why I was contacting you. So it's kind of straight to the point. There's a little personalization there. And I think that's pretty cool. And who else? This one here, I've had no contact with them. It did scrape their post. So it will go to the post first, and then it will go to the about section. If there is no post, it will generate the message based on the about section. So what did it do? Sent my request to them. I've been pouring my heart and soul into whatever. I noticed your recent LinkedIn post. Hope you had a smashing birthday weekend. And now in the spirit of sharing, I'm hosting a webinar. Now, I hope you'd agree that that's a pretty good message. I think it's beautiful. It's not salesy. It's not predictable. It sounds human. But it does still have that touch of professionalism there, but without going over the top. I love it, and I'm really happy with it. You know, it took me quite a long time to get it like that. So at the moment, what I'm doing for the next couple of weeks, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, I'm going to generate the message, and then I'll run another script which sends them. I only ever follow people up 3 times. So there'll be a first message, a second message, and a third message before I mark those off as dead leads, so to speak. Or maybe I'll put them in another sheet and I'll resurface them again in about 6 months' time. But I do not continually hound people. And you know what, on LinkedIn, I might not even go to 3 messages. I might just do 2 and leave them with a video or something, which is why I'm recording this, because I think that when you see it, you'll be able to understand it. And I know it's really hard to get people's attention out there. People are throwing everything at you, and a lot of it is I don't know, not valuable. Now, I honestly think this is mega valuable, but of course this is my baby, so I'm biased. Anyway, so my follow-ups. So that'll be the first message. I'll do one for the second, and I'm probably going to leave it there for LinkedIn. For Instagram, I'm probably going to go to 3. But yeah, over the next 5 to 6 weeks, I'm going to be tweaking it, not training it. You can't train AI agents. AI agents do not go off on their own and think on their own. That's agentic AI. Agentic AI is a whole different beast. If you think of the algorithms that happen during or when you're watching YouTube, even YouTube people, they can't pinpoint exactly what it's going to throw up. They've got an idea, but those systems do self-learn. They auto-correct, or with what Elon's trying to do with autonomous driving. Now that will definitely be self-learning, and they're huge systems. And there are companies that are not so big that are using agentic AI. But it's completely different to just AI agents. They are extremely useful taskmasters, but you are telling it exactly what to do. The only thing I don't have total control over is the message it generates in this part. And that's in the connection request, these parts here, I use Python logic to generate these messages. And I do give you both options in the program, but I don't use AI here. And the reason is that LinkedIn only gives you 300 characters, and you'll find that AI, unless you're very strict with your prompts, it can waste a lot of those characters on generic stuff, lots of super pleasy stuff, which is just not true to me. Now, the other thing is you're never 100% sure of what it's going to send. So what I like to do is test my best openers. And so the opener that I see that's performing best, that's the one I'm going to run with. So here I don't use AI, I use Python logic, and I can explain that more on a call if you want to jump on a call with me. It's in the program and that's explained. But for follow-ups, yes, I do use AI. I use ChatGPT, OpenAI to generate these longer messages. So I don't know exactly what it's going to say, but over the next 5 to 6 weeks, I'll be adding stuff and removing stuff that I don't like seeing myself. So it did start saying that I've been working with agentic AI. Well, that's wrong, because it's not agentic AI. and I don't want it to confuse people. Or now, I personally don't like the term game changer, only because it's been used so much. I don't really like the word empower. It's not something that I used before I discovered ChatGPT, so I'm not going to start using it now. Following our recent conversation on LinkedIn, these are the kind of things that make it not sound like me. So it was saying stuff like, I think the message to Raven, because we'd gone back and forth a bit, I think it started off and it said, hi, following our recent conversation that we've just had in LinkedIn. Now, that's not something that I would say. I think with Hazard, it was saying, I've been on an interesting journey. Now, I don't mind that because that's true. And that's the kind of thing I'd say. But what it was saying was, I'm so excited to share with you. And I was like, I've seen that so much and it's not something that I would say. You know, it's just not true to me. It doesn't sound authentic. So yeah, after about 6 weeks, when I feel confident that it's generating messages, after I've tweaked it and the prompts are really good, then I will let it go automatically in this part here. So just a quick recap, it will go to the replies first. If there are no replies, then it will go to the posts. If there are no posts within 4 weeks, and I might even shorten that to 2 to 3 weeks, but it will then go to their about section. And if there is nothing there in the about section, which is very rare, especially with the people that I'm reaching out to, it will go to something generic. But even in that generic message, it will sound very much like me, because I'm going to take my time to make sure that I avoid the stuff that I don't like. So what I'm going to show you now is just the program itself. So so you've got your welcome and orientation. Now in each step there will be a tiny little video, and these videos are my avatar, which is something I can also show you how to create. So that's obviously not the real me. It is my voice, and it is my image. And if somebody shows you how to make this, it might be something that you want to use, depending on what your business is. But yeah, we've got the welcome and orientation, just giving you an idea of what to expect throughout the program. It is self-paced, so you can do it as fast as you want, or you can take your time. The getting started section. Now this breaks down the tools that you're going to need, and these tools are completely free. So you're going to be downloading Python, downloading VS Code, and that's the black screen here. That's this. This is where we edit everything, and it just gives you a breakdown of how to work with it. So I've got lots of screenshots and everything in there. It should be nice and easy to understand and follow through. Understanding your agent folder. So what you'll do there is download the folder, and when you do that, you'll just get all of the codes already for you. Obviously not the follow-up parts or not the checking of the replies. It's just too much to put in a program. And like I said, this is really aimed at people who are not super technical. So I'm not trying to blow your mind here with it all. I just want you to get through it, get something working, and understand the power of it, really. And then right at the bottom, I do tell you how you can take things further, how I done this and how you can do more yourself. Obviously, you can talk to me. I do offer done for you services, but you may be leading a department. You may have a team that you may want to throw this at one of your staff or one of your team members who are a bit more in tune with the technical side of things. And if they're anything like me, they would take this and they would run with it, and they would just start creating all kinds of really useful stuff. So the possibilities really are endless. So think about anything you can do online. You can get an agent to do for you. And it's definitely not about replacing humans. It's about enhancing you guys, because, well, that's a whole nother conversation. But yes, in here it's packed with loads of practical stuffs. So yeah, how to understand the agent folder. Yeah, how to prepare your LinkedIn search, how to generate the messages. So I did say to you, when I'm looking at the connection part of it, I'm using Python logic. I do show you in here how you can connect it up to AI. It's all very, very cool. So AI, using AI, that there is a cost there, but it is absolutely tiny. You're not going to break any kind of banks by sending out characters of up to 300 for each message. But I do give you some prices of that. So now this part here, this is saving your data. So Google Sheets, probably going to take you about an hour to get through it, step by step, maybe half an hour. Saving to a local sheet, very quick. Saving to OneDrive. Now, if you're saving to your personal OneDrive, that's pretty quick too. And that's what I'm using. That's what I'm showing you here right now. If you're saving to a company OneDrive, like I said earlier, yes, there's a bigger process to go through, but I do map it all out for you. And I've done it with other company profiles, so it's 100% doable, even with really big, complicated companies. It just really depends where you want to save it. So this is probably the longest part. What else have we got? Running your agents. Obviously, I'm going to show you how to run them. And that's very simple. And then taking it further. So if you want to automate your agent, or if you want to have it saved up in the cloud, so when you download the folder initially, it's going to be saved on your device, like mine's is saved on my laptop, but you can save it up into a cloud. And then we've just got some stuff about maintenance and updates. Now, I think it's amazing. Once you do get to understanding this, you can do so many more things. So at the moment, some of the things that I'm doing, and I will create a video for it maybe next month, but I'm now working with interactive avatar chatbots. So, you know, I'll probably put it on my own website, and when it's working, you'll see my face, my voice, and, you know, I'll be saying, how are you doing? And you can ask me anything. And I'll respond to you with my voice in real time. And if things get complicated, I could even guide you towards booking a call. I can book that call for you. I can say stuff like, what's next week like for you? We can go back and forth until we get a time, and I can take all your details and actually book that for you. Or I can send you to the booking page if you'd prefer to do that. You can add videos there, so really good for training videos, especially if you've got current clients who may be getting stuck on particular products. You can have that chatbot say, you know, have a look at this video or look at this diagram. This is how you do A, B or C. So very clever, very futuristic, and a really good user experience. And that's what I'm in a rabbit hole down at the moment. It can be in all different languages. But the truth is, I think it all does start from understanding this part here. So I think my program is an excellent gateway into what you can really do with AI now. You know, moving beyond just creating content and doing some research, but I've kept it very practical without going overboard and giving you a whole heap of information that you don't really need to get moving, because it's one of those things that once you've been through it, everything kind of clicks. You can have them perform tasks that are just really going to help in every single way without confusing things or having systems that run away from you. So anyway, I hope you enjoy that. I absolutely love doing this. You can see here that I'm working on some other stuff. I've got a Wix website, I've got Wix email campaigns that go out, which I haven't sent out for over a year because I've been working on focusing on other people's businesses and building them up. But for me, the way I want to work with this is, now I can get reports sent to me from Wix on how that email campaign done. But what I want to do and what those reports don't give me is a list of everybody that actually opens the emails. It will tell me the number, but it won't give me who they are. And that's really important for me, because I want to do some stuff with those people. I want to focus on those people in another way. Now, other agents that I'm working on at the moment is a comms handler. And, you know, the truth is I make sure I get back to everybody. But I do find that direct contact comes with some pressure when you really care. And this is just going to help me massively with that. It's going to help me deal with things so much faster without overthinking. I'm going to have it flow from the emails to my WhatsApp messages to my email campaigns. Lots of people work on WhatsApp at the moment. And what I'm going to have it do is maybe twice a day say to me, Doriel, this person has asked this, that and this. And I want it to give me suggestions, suggested replies, articles, booking links, whatever, before it sends it out. Now, I don't think I'm ever, when it comes to direct comms, I don't think I'm ever going to make it automatically just answer for me. Number one, I'm not big enough. I don't have hundreds and thousands of clients to warrant that. And even if I was to triple or quadruple the amount of people that I'm working with today, I still don't know if I'd be comfortable with it just doing it for me. I need it to suggest things for me and have me press a button and say, yes, I like that, send that. But that's just the way I like to work. And all of this really is just a start. I definitely plan to have a whole army of agents, but people are still really important. So I find it's the perfect blend of having that human touch, but having extremely clever agents that work exactly how you want them to. So yes, I suggest jumping on a 15-minute call with me, because, you know, you want to be certain that this is going to be for you. There will be some people, I'm sure, that I would be advising against it. I haven't found anybody yet. But a quick chat is going to make sure you'll be happy with what you get in and you understand any limitations. And then, of course, you are going to get some people that, once they fully understand it, they definitely want some of this going on for them, but they don't have the time to do it, so they may want me to get on some done-for-you services. So thank you for watching.